What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, and right now in the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, we are currently in the arc which is being nicknamed by us the fans, the Ultra Guardian arc. Most specifically though, the recent episode when this has been recorded is episode 67, where Ash caught the Ultra Beast Poipole to join his team. Which that entire episode got me thinking, how will the rest of this arc go? Making me come up with two big theories. So today, I'm here to present you how the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime Ultra Guardians arc will end. Of course though, this will be my opinions, so please respect mine, and I shall respect yours in the comments below. I'd love to hear your personal theories. But with that intro now said, let's jump right into these theories. So as you could probably tell from the intro, I have two theories of how this arc will go. One theory where the Ultra Recon Squad don't appear, and another where they do appear, as I find it to be a 50-50 chance for either possibility happening. This anime sure does like to be unpredictable too. Regardless of either option at the moment, I'm firstly gonna discuss Poipole's backstory, as it will be the same for both theories. So, I believe Poipole used to live in a world where the legendary Pokemon Necrozma stole the light from the world, because it is its energy source to reach its true form, aka Ultra Necrozma. This world specifically though, I believe was Ultra Megapolis for the Ultra Recon Squad appearing theory, or a very different Ultra Megapolis for the Ultra Recon Squad not appearing theory. Regardless of whatever possibility, the reason why I think this Necrozma and Poipole backstory is going to happen is because of two reasons. Which firstly, the most obvious reason is because the poster for this arc shows the two forms Necrozma can transform into, which basically confirms Necrozma is going to have a major role in this anime. The forms being essential to make it become Ultra Necrozma 2, and also kinda confirms that the anime is going down the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games plot route. Which what I said earlier about light being stolen from worlds is exactly what happened in the games. As always with the anime though, the plot for this arc won't be the exact same as the games because all the other series have some differences to their counterpart plot. But every series plot still shares a lot of similarities to their counterparts, which this arc will do the same with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So keep that in mind. As for my second reason though, that's because of the evidence we got so far in this season, aka Poipole falling in love with the concept of light. If you haven't identified for yourself yet, every time Poipole sees an object that emits light, such as the city lights we see within the Japanese opening, or seeing an object shine from reflection, such as Ash's Sea Crystal, it gets very excited and happy, which must mean light is a new experience to it, or it's just so happy to see light again. I can see either option happening, as there couldn't be any other reason why, in my opinion, of why it loves light so much. This being solid evidence that it lives in a world with no light. Ultra Megapolis specifically for the Ultra Recon Squad appearing theory, because that's where the Ultra Recon Squad live with no light, and you can obtain a Poipole there in the games. Before one of you comment though saying, Ultra Megapolis has the Megalo Tower, that emits light. Well, as said in the games, that's artificial light, so Necrozma can't steal it to get energy, and it isn't exactly the same feeling as light, hence why Poipole feels happy when seeing real light. It's that simple. And who knows, maybe for the Ultra Recon Squad not appearing possibility, the tower might not exist and the world might look entirely different. But yeah, that's my evidence for why I believe Necrozma stole light from Poipole's homeworld, and a bit of information of why Poipole lives there for the Ultra Recon Squad appearing theory. But finally, for Poipole's backstory though, regardless of whatever possibility, I think it's safe to say that Poipole used to live alone before meeting Ash and the classmates, and my evidence for this comes from the Japanese opening for this arc. The narrative of it was shown as that Poipole used to be lonely. For example, the scene where we see Poipole sitting in a dark room with nothing around it whatsoever. But of course after this Pokemon did find friends when arriving in the Alola region, aka Ash and his friends. Despite the Ultra Recon Squad owning a Poipole in the games, I still believe this will be the same case for the Ultra Recon Squad appearing theory. Because keep in mind, when Poipole arrived in Alola, it was happy. So if it used to belong to the Ultra Recon Squad, why would it be happy when it just got separated from them? And once again, we have the opening evidence. It must have been lonely. But trust me, when we talk about the Ultra Recon Squad appearing theory, it will all make sense of why they don't own Poipole. But overall actually, that concludes all I needed to say for Poipole's backstory. So firstly, I'm going to focus on the theory of the Ultra Recon Squad not appearing. Let's begin. So one day, Poipole managed to find an Ultra Wormhole in its homeworld, which I believe it either randomly appeared like they sometimes do, or Necrozma actually opened one up, which sparked Poipole's attention because of the light the wormhole was emitting, deciding to go in it because of the brightness it loved, and of course to get away from its deserted, destroyed, pitch black home world. And well, what happens next is fairly simple. It's what we've seen so far, aka Poipole arrives in Alola and gets attracted to Ash's Pikachu due to its electricity emitting a lot of light, which led to Ash capturing Poipole in a later episode under Lucamine's command, until her and the Aether Foundation found the Ultra Wormhole it came out of and released it back to its world. Poipole now being a temporary member of the Ultra Guardians too, and even Ash's team. Now, what I believe happens next is simply that the Ultra Guardians encounter every other Ultra Beast we have not seen yet every couple of episodes, as there is breaks in between for slice of life episodes as we've seen so far. And during this whole time too, Ash trains Poipole to become a stronger battler due to it not having much battle experience, which turns out to be successful as Poipole slowly starts to get stronger. After all these Ultra Beast encounters though, I believe Nano and Ace Roller will make their way to Many Island to visit the Pokemon school, much like the poster for this arc shows, to take Ash and the classmates on a school trip to Ula Island for some Pokemon lessons, while meanwhile Ash will do his island challenges, much like what we saw last season with Olivia and Akala Island. I really do feel like going on a school trip for island challenges is a theme for this anime. Anyway, before they actually leave for the island, I think we will get an entire episode dedicated to Nano telling the Ultra Guardians that they are Fallers. If you don't know what Fallers are, they are basically humans that pass through Ultra Wormholes and have a strange energy about them that Ultra Beasts mistake for another wormhole, causing them to pursue Fallers under the impression that they are making their way back home. This making sense of why so many Ultra Beasts are coming to Alola, along with the information that the Aether Foundation actually found out. Why I believe Nano will be the one to tell this though is because he told it to the player in the post-game of the Pokemon Sun and Moon games. And plus, I'm sure the Ultra Beasts will have been on the news, which made Nano find out these Ultra Guardians are stopping them. Also finding out in this episode that they travelled to Ultra Space before to save Lucamine from the Lego. Finally, for this episode I see happening though, I believe we will also see Nano use the Darkanium Z in action, as of course he's bound to own one much like in the games, as he is the Ula Island Kahuna. I don't know how exactly we will see the Sea Crystal in action, but Team Rocket will be nearby and finally work out the pose for their duplicate Sea Crystal so they can use it for themselves, no longer making the Sea Crystal they own useless. After that episode, the gang then set sail for Ula Island. For those wanting to see my theory on what trials Ash does though, I'll be saving that for another video, due to me wanting to keep the Necrozma story focus here, so you guys don't forget what I said earlier, as there is quite a bit to say regarding those trials. Anyway, during their time at Ula Island though, the gang do visit Mali Library and find out information about the legendary Pokemon Necrozma and how it steals light for energy, which everybody found interesting, but this topic does not appear again until after the Ula Island arc, which is where I believe we will get a scene at the start of an episode showing us Nebby having a battle against Necrozma. And why this is happening is because Nebby found out Necrozma was going on a rampage and stealing light from many worlds. So it decided to track down Necrozma, which it successfully did, like I explained. However, Nebby here will lose the battle, and Necrozma merges with Nebby, becoming Duskmane Sigaleo, as of course Sigaleo has a lot of light energy inside its body. However, we will then see Ash wake up scared when witnessing Necrozma fuse with Nebby, this revealing to be a dream. He didn't know whether this event had already happened or not, but he knows he has to check up on Nebby in Ultra Space as they are friends, and friends help whenever in the time of need. You know, that cliche stuff. Plus, Ash and Nebby are connected dream-wise anyway, like we saw in the beginning of the Sigaleo arc. Anyway, Ash the next morning explains this to Lusamine and his friends in the Ultra Guardian's base, which is where Lusamine then asks what the Pokemon he saw was, which Ash then explains its looks to Lusamine, which then Lusamine, Wick and Brunette find the best described match to be Necrozma, which everybody then remembers that name due to researching it in the library that one time. Lusamine then comes up with the hypothesis that Necrozma has recently become enraged somehow and is stealing light from worlds to reach its true form, which no human has ever seen before, but knows that if it comes to Alola, Alola will be doomed. So, she and the Ava Foundation then come up with the plan to awaken the last legendary Pokemon we have not seen get a focus yet, Lunala. Why Lunala? Is because obviously 1, it's on the poster for this arc, and finally 2, Lunala can open up Ultra Wormholes which can make the Ultra Guardians go to Ultra Space and help Nebby, plus stop Necrozma, which Lusamine of course trusts this job to the Ultra Guardians because of the amazing work they did of capturing all the Ultra Beasts and even saving her that one time in Ultra Space from the Lego. After a bit of research though, the Aether Foundation then found out a way to summon this legendary Pokemon, which is by using the Sun and Moon flutes at either the Altar of Sun or the Lake of Moon, which we have not seen these flutes and the Lake of Moon have a focus yet. Although in the games the flutes are used to evolve Nebby, it could have this different purpose in the anime due to Nebby evolving via a Tapu ritual in the anime. And I believe the location could simply be the Lake of Moon because in the games it is where you can catch the other form of Nebby, but of course firstly in its Cosmog form. Regardless, Lusamine then reveals that she actually has possession of one of the flutes and that Ash and the others should travel to Pony Island to find the other flute as that's where it was last located, which the gang agree to do. Once arriving at Pony Island, the chief of the village, much like in the games, reveals that the flute is on Executor Island, which is where we get an entire episode of the gang exploring this island, finding the flute towards the end of it. So now that the gang has this flute, in the next episode, they then travel to the Altar of Sun of the Lake of Moon. Like I said, it depends which option the anime creators decide to go with. And Lusamine, who is also there, I'm gonna say Gladion will be here too because he could help in the battle against Necrozma. Anyway, Lusamine then gives the remaining flute to Lily, which she decides to play alongside Ash, who plays the other flute. Which, when the flutes make a noise, Lunala indeed appears before them. Now, the reason why I think it isn't another Cosmog is because I believe that would be lazy writing if the anime creators were to make this happen due to them already using this idea in the Segalia arc, and there wouldn't be enough time for that anyway. Regardless, when Lunala does appear, Ash and the others plead for Lunala's help, explaining the dream Ash had, which Lunala accepts, as it knows about Necrozma's rampage. However, once the gang prepare to launch to Ultra Space on this Lunala, Necrozma, who in fact is fused with Nebby, suddenly appears through its own Ultra Wormhole and attacks Lunala, much like in the games, but this time fused. However, during this battle against Lunala, it successfully merges with Lunala 2, becoming Dawnwing's Lunala. Nebby falling out of Necrozma to the ground while this is happening, as of course only one of the legendaries can merge with Necrozma, not two. Now, although this sounds very weird, this is the only way I can see Lunala fusing with Necrozma within this anime. I don't think they would show the form on the poster if it didn't have a big focus. It would be stupid if it was only shown through pictures in a book or something along those lines. Regardless of that though, Necrozma then steals the light from Alola, and I believe, but I'm not 100% sure that this will happen, it may be stretching too far, in fact I'll say I'm 50-50 about this. Anyway, I believe all the other Ultra Beasts we have seen in the anime will appear before the Ultra Guardians once again under Necrozma's control. Or they are just confused like we saw in the capturing episodes and go to Alola due to the open wormhole and attack regardless. What makes me think this though is because of the Japanese opening where we see all the Ultra Beasts standing together. It feels like they would all reunite for one final battle. Regardless though, the Ultra Guardians take care of these Ultra Beasts while Ash himself focuses on Dawnwing's Necrozma and successfully wins against it. However, due to the amount of light Necrozma has gathered so far, it can finally transform into Ultra Necrozma, which it does. And once all the other Ultra Beasts have been defeated, or if they didn't appear at all, the gang prepared to attack this Ultra Necrozma too, even Lusamine helping out too due to her being at this location. For those confused, we're not in Ultra Space, we're still at the Lake of Moon or the Altar of Sun. Anyway, Nebby also finally wakes up and decides to help too. At first when battling against Ultra Necrozma, everybody was using their normal Pokemon moves on it, but realized it was not doing any damage whatsoever. So then the Z-move users decided to use their Z-moves on this Pokemon, but not even them Z-moves could do much damage to this powerful Pokemon, and their Pokemon start to get hurt really badly, even Poipole, who was trying to attack with its normal moves. However, in the time of need and seeing its comrades fall, it then evolves into Magneto and manages to do some good damage to Necrozma. After Ash and Pikachu see their friend evolve too, they get really motivated and scream for both of them not to give up, which makes the peak Ashenium Z appear once again, and both these partners then decide to use this C move, along with Magneto helping out on the final blow too, to defeat Ultra Necrozma, which they successfully managed to do. The reason why I believe the peak Ashenium Z would appear again is because it seems to only appear once Ash and Pikachu get so motivated and are in the time of need, which this Ultra Necrozma situation to me would feel like the perfect time the anime creators would pull out this move. I even believe this will happen in Ash's final Pokemon League battle. As for Magneto though, I feel like the anime creators know making it evolve in the final duel against Ultra Necrozma would be good development due to its whole backstory. But yeah, after that, Necrozma and Lunala unfuse. Necrozma no longer being in an angry state, and it just simply says sorry in some kind of way and runs back to Ultra Space along with the Ultra Beasts if they did appear. Nebby and Lunala then thank the gang too. However, once again, Nebby must go back to Ultra Space, and Ash understands this, which Lunala does the same. But, and once again this is a 50-50 possibility, Nebby and Lunala explain to Magneto that it is an Ultra Beast and should probably go with the other Ultra Beast, which Ash and Magneto would agree and go their separate ways too, Ash releasing this Pokemon. However, if this doesn't happen, I can see Ash keeping Magneto. I mean, come on, Poipole was lonely in its home world. It has nothing nor any friends back in its home world, so why would it go back? The only reason I made for its release is because I somehow doubt at the same time that the anime creators would allow Ash to keep such a powerful Pokemon. But we shall see what happens when that time comes. But for now, Nebby and Lunala make their way back to Ultra Space. Nebby and Lunala make their way back to Ultra Space, Light returns to Alola, and the Ultra Guardians return home to go back to their everyday lives. AKA the Ultra Guardians going to school, with Ash only left to do Mina's trial in the future, and that's that. The Ultra Guardians also being disbanded for now too, due to no more foreseen threats coming to the Alola regions. The wormhole successfully no longer appearing for any more Ultra Beasts or even Necrozma to come out of. And that concludes my first theory. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. I'd love to hear. But for now, Entity Squad, we are going to move on to theory 2. I'm gonna warn you now though, this one is weaker compared to the one we just explored. But regardless, let's begin. So beginning off after Poipole's backstory that I said towards the start of this video, I believe the Ultra Recon Squad, much like in the games, will manage to capture Necrozma, and held it captive for the time being on Megalo Tower. However, the reason why Necrozma became enraged in the first place is because the ancestors of the Ultra Recon Squad became greedy and tried to steal the light from this Pokemon, which made poor Necrozma become corrupted and absorb all the light from Ultra Megapolyps, leaving it up to the Ultra Recon Squad years later, I guess, to fix their ancestors' mistakes by trying to find a strong Pokemon trainer to defeat Necrozma's angry state, as it would lose its rage and restore light to their world. Plus, nobody in their world don't really have powerful Pokemon to defeat Necrozma anyway. Once again, this whole plot being similar to the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games. Regardless, the Ultra Recon Squad then managed to find a Lunala, or this Lunala simply belonged to their ancestors, and they decide to travel to different worlds to try and find a powerful Pokemon trainer to stop this legendary Pokemon and restore light to their world. But as they get ready to leave one day, Poipole, who was living lonely in the city, encounters the Ultra Recon Squad opening up this Ultra Wormhole, and due to the amount of light the wormhole was producing, Poipole got happy and ran into the wormhole, the Ultra Recon Squad being oblivious to this and even its existence. Or Poipole just found a random wormhole and went in it anyway. But I'm leaning a bit more towards the Ultra Recon Squad opening up a wormhole for Poipole to leave. Regardless of either option though, let me explain my reasoning for this section. Firstly, for Poipole being lonely, like I said in the backstory, I believe the Japanese opening's narrative is trying to tell us that Poipole used to live alone, hence why I did not say that the Ultra Recon Squad have Poipole under their care, because of this opening story, and surely if they did too, it would still be with them now, not separated, and Poipole would have been sad when it arrived in Alola, not happy, much like I explained earlier too. Talking about the Ultra Recon Squad though, the reason why I believe they appear in this anime is because compared to my first theory, it makes much more sense of how the Aether Foundation find out about Necrozma coming to Alola and why it's mad. Plus, finally, Lunala doesn't feel that forced in due to the Ultra Recon Squad already owning one in the Pokemon games. With all of that now stated though, let's continue this story, which I've stated in the previous theory, aka the whole Ultra Beast capturing and Ula Island Dog. No need to repeat all of that and make this video longer. So let's continue after the Ula Island Dog. That is where I can see the Ultra Recon Squad finally arrive in Alola on the Lunala after exploring many different worlds for Pokemon trainers. However, the wormhole they created gets picked up by the Aether Foundation systems, and they then notice that they are actually humans instead of Ultra Beasts and decide to go to their location along with the Ultra Guardians. Which when they arrive, the Ultra Recon Squad then explain the situation about Necrozma and how they are looking for strong trainers to beat this legendary Pokemon, which Lucamine then comes up with the plan to send the Ultra Guardians to their world due to their great work of defeating many Ultra Beasts, saving Pokemon, and even save Lucamine from being merged with Nalago many episodes ago. Maybe even showing video footage of all the Ultra Guardians in action to assure what she said was real. And also, unlike the games, Lucamine here is not being selfish, as she knows the Ultra Guardians are the better trainers. Anyway, the Ultra Recon Squad like the sound of what Lucamine said and accept the offer. Maybe even get to see the Ultra Guardians in action against an Ultra Beast we haven't seen yet, or maybe any other battle, before they decide to make plans to go to Ultra Megapolis. Now, if you remember back in the Segaleo arc, pretty much every Ultra Guardian and Gladion took all the room up on Segaleo, so there's no way that every Ultra Guardian could fit on Lunala due to there being one extra person, and how Lunala in my opinion is smaller body wise. So, I could see Lucamine coming up with the plan for the gang to try and get Nebby back, which she remembers the legend of using the Sun and Moon Flute to summon the legendary Pokemon. So, she asks the Ultra Guardians to go on a journey to find the other flute, due to already having one in a collection of collectibles, like she had in the Pokemon games, giving it to the Ultra Guardians after they find the other. Although this sounds weird to get Nebby back, it's pretty much one of the only kind of logical ways I can see Nebby returning, unless it just randomly comes through an Ultra Wormhole, which I beg to differ. Anyway, this journey for the flute is exactly the same like my previous theory, so let's continue after that. Which, once the flutes have been obtained, once again at the altar of Sun over Lake or Moon, Ash and Lily play the flutes, and Nebby indeed appears before them, which everybody who knew Nebby have a heartwarming reunion, but it then quickly moves back to a serious tone, with Ash saying to Nebby that they need its help because of Necrozma, which Nebby then agrees to help in battle and take them to the world where Necrozma is. However, just as the Ultra Guardians prepare to go to Ultra Space, along with the Ultra Recon Squad, Necrozma suddenly bursts out an Ultra Wormhole, now being free, and Nebby, who tries to fight against it, ends up getting wrecked by Necrozma, who then takes the form of Segaleo due to the amount of light in his body, aka becoming Duskmane Necrozma, and at some point I guess it will take over the Ultra Recon Squad Lunala due to it being in the poster. I couldn't find a way to fit it in here though. Regardless, I just want to quickly say, originally in the games, the reason why Necrozma managed to make its way to Alola is because Lucamine and Guzma enraged it, making it break free from its captivity, which this could happen in the anime too with other characters in my opinion, such as maybe Guzma and Gladion. They are the edgy, think they are the strongest types of people anyway. I just couldn't find a way to include them in this theory or even how they got to Ultra Space, but it's still a possibility that something along those lines could happen. Just letting you know. And of course the anime could explain it all very well. Regardless, going back to the possibility of Necrozma just appearing randomly, the Ultra Guardians then unfortunately have to engage in battle against these two fused legendary Pokemon and they successfully win. but Necrozma still fused, then opens up an Ultra wormhole and travels back to Ultra Megapolis so it could try and transform into its true form. Which, unlike my previous theory when Necrozma stayed in Alola, this is where I believe the Ultra Recon Squad then decided to stay behind in Alola, while the Ultra Guardians and Gladion take their Lunala and go to their world, having a battle against this legendary Pokemon, who now transformed into Ultra Necrozma. But overall, after that, pretty much the battle I discussed in my previous theory happens, aka Ultra Necrozma, Poipole evolves, Ash beats Ultra Necrozma using the C-move and Magneto, along with the classmates helping. However, this time around for Magneto's release, I can see the Ultra Recon Squad asking Ash for his Magneto to stay living in its home world as a defender if anything ever bad happens again, due to the good work it showed during the Ultra Necrozma fight, which Ash and Magneto agree to go their separate ways, Ash releasing this Pokemon. Or he doesn't. Like I said in my previous theory, it's a 50-50 possibility to me. But to conclude this theory, once again, Light returns to Alola, Ultra Megapolis, Nebby leaves, and the Ultra Guardians return home to go back to their everyday lives, aka the Ultra Guardians going to school. The Ultra Guardians also being disbanded for now too, due to no more foreseen threats coming to the Alola region, and wormholes successfully no longer appearing for any more Ultra Beasts or even Necrozma to come out of. And that concludes my theories. Of course, there is some plot holes in both, and maybe some parts may not happen at all, but hey, it's just two possibilities I think are going to happen so far, and it was actually fun researching and making this theory. That's all that matters, right? Anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you actually think is going to happen, what you thought of my theories, and what discussion you want to see me make next. I'd love to hear. As for the discussion factor, the 3 ideas I like the most will be added into the next discussion videos poll for you guys to vote for your favourite. But for now, I'd like you to pick the options that are currently available in this video's poll. Just click the iCard shown on screen. Anyway, that concludes it for this video now. So if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. For now, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching. Once again, such a hard video to make. Why do I keep doing this to myself?